What up, everybody? YouTube Live, how's it going? I'm here again, back live streaming. Right now, this time to give you my review of tonight's all new episode of one of my favorite freshman series or shows, Euphoria. That's on HBO, by the way. Um, oh my god, I love this show, man. I think, you know what? I'm gonna just say it. Screw Riverdale. Screw Riverdale. Fucks Riverdale. Because Euphoria is a 10 times way better high school teen drama than Riverdale could ever hope itself to be. All right, fine, fine. I don't want to piss off any of you Riverdale fans out there. Sure, Riverdale's okay, but Euphoria is more awesome. Um, Season 1, Episode 6, titled The Next Episode. That's right, it's based on Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's song, right? Next episode. ding, 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 ding. Okay. Um, Let me start by, because there's it's a cast ensemble, a lot of characters here, but I just want to start by saying I freaking love Jules' costume in this one. Now, this episode is Halloween episode, right? Halloween is my favorite time of the year. Not Christmas, not New Year's Eve, not Easter, not 4th of July. Halloween. It's when everybody goes wild. Everybody dresses up. Everybody cosplays. Even those that don't like cosplay, the Comic Con, they don't like to dress up on any other day. They dress up on Halloween. And it's just celebrating scary stuff, horror movies, ghouls and stuff. I love it. I love it. Big fan of the season Halloween. Um, and so Jules, her Halloween costume is an angel, which is pretty simple and nice, right? But what makes it awesome is that it is reminiscent of, or it reminds me of one of the, because I grew up in the '90s. I don't know if you know that. I'm an '83 baby, so I mostly grew up in the '90s. During teenager, junior high, and high school. One of the most pivotal moments. I'm sorry, movies. Sorry, not moments. Movies. If you think back of the decade, the '90s, the era, one of the movies that will pop up in your head, is 1996. Baz Luhrmann directed Romeo and Juliet, starring Leonardo DiCaprio as Romeo and Claire Danes as Juliet. And for those of you my '90s kids out there, what did Juliet dress as? You can even look up the trailer if you want. Mostly she had her angel costume. So I love that about Jules tonight. It takes me back. I don't know if that's intentional on the episode's part, especially when Jules in this episode tonight, Jules starts like speaking Shakespearean, some poetry mumbo jumbo. That takes me back to that movie because the movie was pretty much using, it was using Shakespearean language through and through. Again, I don't know if that's intentional. This may be a little bit of a reach on my part, but I love that. I love that. It takes me back. It was nostalgic. Thank you, Euphoria. Tonight's episode. Thank you. Oh, Euphoria in general, the whole show, but specifically tonight's episode. Thank you for for taking me down that memory lane. Romeo and Juliet has a special place in my heart. The 1996 movie, and has a special place in the decade that I grew up in. So I want to start with that. Okay, Jules looks amazing as the angel. The other costumes are weird. Lexi dresses as Bob Ross. Cat dresses as, I forgot what nun it is. You can probably remind me what that nun character is exactly in the comment section below. And of course, Cassie has her own costume. Maddie and Nate have their own costumes as well. They come out later on. We'll talk about them later on. Um, so Jules in this one is just like having so much fun drinking, like I don't know, there's something up. Lexi says, like something's definitely going on here. And then it flashbacks to what happened the days before that or leading up to that. Apparently Nate had put in motion this plan to get Jules to implicate Tyler and to get Tyler to implicate himself in the crime against Maddie. The whole choke strangling thing. And man, holy crap. Okay, I never thought Nate could be such a clever evil mastermind. Because you see him like a freaking jock, dumbass. It's like probably the dumbass that's in the closet. That's all you kind of judge him as. But in tonight's episode, a part of me kind of like, damn, he's got it in him. That's kind of like Mike Myers, Doctor Evil shit. You know what I'm saying? So kind of got to give him credit for credit where credit is due for being a villain. It's not something that's like you applaud or admire that because it's decent. No, but it's like, wow, I had no idea that you could pull this off. So of course, he threatens Jules. So Jules concocted this lie to the cop, and Tyler was given these options. And Tyler, as you know, is a fucking coward, man. That guy is such a weakling, man. I mean, I'm not. I'm not a strong guy. I don't. I would not be able to stand up to. I would probably get my ass kicked by freaking Nate. Okay, and Nate's like way younger than me, but like, really, you want to confess to something you didn't do? And like, okay, here's what I would do. Here's what I do. If I were Tyler, okay, I would have had, after Nate hurt me, and I had to get a neck brace and whatnot, right? I would have um, set my door to have, I don't know, double bolted locks or whatever, right? And then I'll have extra, I call the whatever security firm and have alarm set, whatever. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would not just like, okay, freaking, I got attacked, so that's the end of it. I'm not. There's no way that Nate's gonna come back, or oh, I feel safe now. No, I would take the extra effort, as far as making sure my apartment doesn't get broken through or whatever. Again, I keep saying whatever, but the reason why I said that is just I'm so frustrated that freaking really Tyler, really. And number two, when Nate says to Tyler, like, okay, because Tyler says like nobody's gonna believe that I was in the carnival. I was here at home. And Nate says, like, okay, so who was at home with you? Who can corroborate your story? Who can corroborate your story? That's what basically. Okay. Um, and I would say, like, if I were Tyler, I'd be like, um, I don't need anybody to corroborate my story. The truth is the truth. And you know what? What would have been sweet if, because I have a voice recorder, dude, that whole conversation that I, as Tyler, had with freaking Nate, that would have gone down in record, man. I would have pressed the record button without him knowing, of course. He would not know. But that'll be my evidence. That'll be my what's it called? Leverage. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think Tyler is the kind of person that is easy to corner. Anybody, like, it doesn't take much to corner him. And that's just sad, 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 man. I feel bad for him because he takes the fall, but at the same time, dude, you are so pathetic. Really, really, Tyler. Like, like you're scared shitless. Like, okay, so Nate tells you that there are only two options. Then go make a third option for yourself, Tyler. Jeez. I'm like, when somebody says that these are your only options, don't believe them. Dumbass. Dumbass. Really. So a part of me again I feel bad for Tyler, but another part of me is like, dude, the guy is a dweeb. Maybe it's a good thing that he goes away. I don't know. Um, so last week's episode, the title is Bonnie and Clyde because of the song. And I mentioned to you that it's a bit, it doesn't seem fitting, the title, because if that's what you want to describe Nate and Maddie, or Maddie and Nate, Maddie being Bonnie and Nate being Clyde, it's a bit of an overpraise, right? I told you that. It's like they don't deserve such comparison because Bonnie and Clyde would be out there, driving the highway, not giving two shits about cops, and they would be like, I don't know, doing their thing instead of cowering, right? Like last week, like, oh, Nate and Maddie's like, oh, they got you. The Popo got you. But tonight's episode is more fitting. If tonight's episode had been titled Bonnie and Clyde, that would have been more fitting for those two characters. Because man, what they pulled off to force Jules and Tyler to into that position, that is some Bonnie and Clyde shit right there. Okay. That's some Bonnie and Clyde shit. So um just like I said earlier, credit where credit is due. Um, it's not something good, but you gotta hand it to them. They got it. They have it in them. All right, they have it in them to be villains. So, wow, wow. This right now is episode 6. So there are only 2 episodes left. We'll see. We'll see what happens to Maddie and Nate these next few episodes. But as a fan of Jules, though, I that time when Jules says to Nate, she says, "Hey, you are like your father. Both of you are F words." Like because Jules stands up to Nate, which is awesome. I wish there could be another, or I hope there could be another chance for Jules to flip the table, and get the upper hand. I don't like this Jules that's being taken advantage of by Nate, and so it messes with her head, and so she has to drink herself away. As much as fun as it is to see or to watch Jules being drunk, that's still entertaining. But as a fan of the character, fan of Jules, I really want her to to have a win. But tonight she didn't get the win. It's Nate and Maddie that got the win, unfortunately. Um, the next storyline I want to discuss is um, Kat and Ethan. I freaking love Kat. Oh my god. Kat is woo. She, as the episode explains in tonight's episode, she's building her empire, right? I that whole business of hers where she gets men to do all kinds of silly shit online, in front of the webcam on the screen, oink like a pig, and they oink 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 oink, and they pay her. Man, what a great gig! And it's not like she's physically harming them. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a fantasy thing, kind of like watching porn. You know what I'm saying? Um, and she's not like doing like masturbation or anything like that in front of them or anything like that. She's like a dominating, kind of like a dominatrix thing, right? Some men get off that way. Some men get off on being told what to do. Um, I even hear that sometimes when you go to those BDSM thing, most of the customers are actually some of the most powerful people around in corporates or maybe even in politics. They live their lives telling others to do, and they secretly enjoy being spanked and or being told to oink like a pig. It's a funny, but it's also a fascinating business. And you know what? To Kat's credit, she is banking on it, man. She's bankrolling that shit. Uh, God, a lot of us try to wreck our brains on how to come up with money to pay for the next month's bill. We drive Uber, we drive Postmates, and all that Cat has to do is basically turn her computer on. That's all she has to do. How awesome of a gig is that? So anyway, in tonight's episode, she dresses as this nun thing. Let me know if you know the exact character. Um, and she and then Ethan, of course, Ethan asks, to Ethan's credit, gotta give him credit also because he's kind of ballsy and he's persistent. He's like, hey, what happened at the carnival? I thought we were like getting it good. And, of course, just to recap, Kat saw from the distance Ethan was talking to that hottie, but Kat misunderstood. That hottie wasn't like flirting with him or anything like that. It was actually just some regular work shit. Maybe even Ethan's employee, like coworker. I'm sorry, coworker is trying to find out. Hey, can you cover for my shift? Stuff like that. Some boring, tedious stuff. So anyway, fast forward now. Kat is still giving Ethan a hard time, and Ethan, he drinks some. Is like he gathers up some courage and is like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go take her upstairs and kiss her in the bathroom and go for it. And Kat goes along, but at one point, Kat's like, "Oh, you're a virgin? Yeah. Ooh, I don't have sex with virgins. They get emotional and they don't really know what to do, and or they don't really know what they're doing. You know what? Fuck you, Kat. I love you, but fuck you to that comment. Really, really. I mean, you were a virgin once. Could you imagine being, if somebody tells you that? Have some compassion. This guy wants to do it with you. The nicest thing you could do is at least, if he doesn't know what he's doing, guide him. Or don't belittle him. Don't make him feel small about himself. Like that. That's a dick move, Cat. That's a dick move. So even the characters I like, I would find some things that I would disagree with them. And tonight, that's what I disagree with Cat. And of course, the joke is, I think Ethan kind of came early. Either that or either that or he wet himself somehow. But apparently, according to tonight's episode, he has a talent in when it comes to eating pussies. So, um, and obviously, Cat enjoys it. So maybe if Cat is not there yet, as far as allowing Ethan to, hey, let's fuck kind of thing. Maybe, eating pussy is gonna be like Ethan weighs in to Cat somehow. I don't know. I'm just saying because it looks like she really really liked it, and it looks like he's really really good at it. So maybe you should start small, Ethan, and you should start yeah, small steps, right? Baby steps, and that could be that step. Maybe Cat, who knows? In the next two episodes, we'll be missing that feeling again. It's like, hey, can you eat me out again? Or like, we'll be craving for it again, and she'll come to you, Ethan. So that could be your way in. So I As far as about that though, I feel bad that of course Ethan's night didn't go well, and what happened ultimately, as you could tell, Daniel, who dressed as Ted Bundy, probably boned Cat. Then they had this look that they have at each other, and they were horny as shit. So another loss for for Ethan. Another loss for Ethan. So Daniel won, Ethan zero, unfortunately. So there's that. The next storyline I want to discuss, of course, is the main one, because the character, because every episode, the beginning parts of it will have backstories of a character. Um, Previous episodes we get to see the backstories for Rue, there's one episode about Jules when she was a kid, and there's an episode about Kat when she was a kid, and tonight it was McKay. And I mentioned to you before that McKay is my least favorite character. I am not a big fan of McKay. Um, I just think the character, putting aside Cassie, I just think McKay's not interesting. There's nothing about McKay that draws me in. Like, oh, I want to know more about this guy. Like, what's his struggle? Like, that shade, that aspect about him is so intriguing. No, no, no. I 5 episodes to 6 episodes now. I'm never in that place. So I think McKay is my least favorite character of the whole show. Um, and I mentioned to you before in previous episodes that I feel kind of bad for Cassie because freaking McKay keeps like, oh, she's not my girlfriend, because he's all embarrassed, oh, I don't want to know what my football guys friends would say, because you were in that video, Cassie, and, and then another moment he'll be like, oh, I love you, Cassie, I love you, all lovey dovey and have sex. He makes her laugh, what have you. And then the next episode, he'll be like, oh, I don't like the way you dress. Why can't you dress modest? Like, just like in tonight's episode, he at one point he asks her, he has her wear that freaking extra large football jersey. It's like, what the hell? So I if you ask me though, are they compatible? No, I don't think they are compatible. Um, Now, what really to me was a curveball was Daniel, because I thought, prior to that scene in the room in tonight's episode, where Daniel says that horrible stuff to Cassie. Prior to that, when Daniel, tries to kind of like, all right, maybe this is my way in with Cassie. Like maybe I should, I don't know, seduce her, maybe work my way somehow, work my charm. I thought that, okay, I could see Daniel with Cassie. I was like, maybe, when you think of Daniel and Cassie, you're like, okay, these are like those two renegades, in the riding or driving a convertible Corvette on Route 66, right? Just carefree, that kind of couple, and kind of like Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette in the movie True Romance. So, halfway of tonight's episode, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe McKay and Cassie are not compatible, but maybe there's something here potentially for Daniel and Cassie. Kind of maybe they could be like Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette in True Romance, if Daniel plays his card right. But no, no, no. Unfortunately, as you've seen in tonight's episode, Daniel is a fucking dick. He's a dick. He's a dick, man. He's an asshole. I know I'm laughing, but it's not something to be laughed at, okay? What he says to Cassie about like, oh, you're only good for your looks. Of course I'm paraphrasing here. I was like, yeah, the if I'll be surprised if somebody wants you more than just to fuck you. It's like something along those lines. Like, what? You're an asshole. Like, really? Um, so I'm glad that Cassie did not give him the time of day as far as a blowjob or whatever is concerned. Because he doesn't deserve it, man. I still think that McKay and Cassie are not compatible. And again, I don't like McKay. Okay, he can't make up his mind. He's a flip flopper. Fuck McKay. But he compared to Daniel after that revelation, that curveball in the room, that makes McKay look like a saint. All right. So yeah. Again, my heart bleeds for Cassie. Um, and I think that goes to what I said many times throughout this season that hey, life doesn't, life doesn't just, or the universe, your life is not just about high school. It doesn't start and end in high school. Okay. So, Cassie, don't feel bummed out. Once you hit college, maybe you'll find that somebody that fits you. Because I don't think McKay is. I don't think. And but I gotta respect Cassie though for for respecting her relationship. I guess you could probably argue like, hey, that's not respect if she kisses Daniel. That's still a violation, right? If she's in a relationship with McKay, she should not be kissing other guys. But at least it's not fucking Daniel. At least it's not giving him blowjobs, right? So I think there are many times you can tell that there are many instances, including tonight's episode, where she's unhappy around McKay or with McKay. Um, but good on her for at least like, oh, she keeps realizing that I am in a relationship. That she never forgets that. And I think I still think it's doomed to fail again because they're not compatible, but good on her to at least make that effort. Like, hey, I want this to work. All right, maybe I'm not happy that my boyfriend tells me to wear this freaking extra large football jersey instead of my, what I'm empowered to dress as. Um, but you know what? I agree to a relationship, and I'm gonna try to make this work. So I hope that Cassie comes to a realization that it doesn't work, that she needs to end it. But until then, you got to give her credit for at least putting in that effort. And lastly, um, you know how in every episode there is an interesting shot. The rotating hallway, the rotating shot of Rue and Jules on the bed and against the locker. There's always some interesting cinematography going on. And in tonight's episode, I want to say that moment is the underwater shot when Jules, dresses Angel, all drunk. She's in the water. She's spewing Shakespearean stuff, and she pulls Rue into the water, and you see that shot, a shot of them kissing, and just lovely. I've always been a big fan of underwater shots. So that one I think really catches my eye. Of course, because as I mentioned earlier, Jules reminds me of Claire Danes in 1996 Romeo and Juliet. God, I freaking love that movie. If you haven't seen Romeo and Juliet 1996, directed by Baz Luhrmann, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, dressed up as an angel. If you haven't seen that, you are missing out. Missing out. One of the best movies in the 90s, one of the best movies of all time. What a great rendition of a classic. So yeah, that's it. That's my thought. Oh, one last thing. Is it just me or Lexi is boring? McKay may be my least favorite character, but Lexi is just, I feel, I mean, there are many characters that I feel bad for, but Lexi is just like the writers just don't give her spice. They don't give her, I don't know, vibrancy or life. Not only because she dresses as Bob Ross, but in other episodes too. It's just like, what is she? She's just there. She's just part of the entourage. That's, how entourage. There's the Vincent Chase. There's the Ari Gold. There's the Turtles. Everybody. There's the Eric or E. Everybody's got their own personalities and struggles, and they have their own vices. But Lexi, what's Lexi got? Please tell me. You tell me, because I don't understand Lexi at all. Um, Played by Maud Apatow, by the way. This is one dimensional, yeah, one dimensional boring character. That's just like, what is her story? I don't get it. Uh, um, as far as Rue's concerned, if you want me to talk about Rue, I don't really have opinion about Rue from tonight's episode. There's not much to explore about Rue. Um, I'm, I think she's still dealing with being sober, and she's dealing with her feelings for Jules. Um, a big chunk of tonight's episode doesn't really focus on Rue, except for that moment she when she scares her sister's boyfriend. That one was pretty funny. I gotta hand it to the writers, because Rue basically behaves like freaking Denzel Washington in that moment. It's like, hey, I know some hardcore motherfuckers. And she starts naming like freaking your stereotypical prison name shit, like Wei and Marlon, and you know what you do in rehabs? You get to start, befriending these hardcore motherfuckers. So the next time I catch you with this, I want to have these hardcore motherfuckers come to you and come to stand on your lawn and stare at your window. Oh man, that is so priceless. Um, Usually that kind of stuff, right? That is something that a big sister or a big brother would do. I mean, I'm a big brother to two little sisters, so I would totally do that to whoever they start seeing or dating. So uh, Rude doing that to that kid, her sister's boyfriend. There's nothing surprising about that. Um, but it's just funny. It's entertaining. Um, but as far as the dramatic side of Rue that needs to be explored, there's not much going on tonight. I want I want her to come back to her sponsor, Coleman Domingo. I think there's more to dig. On that side, I think we can dig some more. As far as drama is concerned, um, obviously, if I was in Rue's position, I would call Coleman Domingo, because like, hey, I know I got this feelings from a friend, and I'm having a hard time right now, putting myself together and keeping myself together. So until then, tonight, there's not. I don't have really a big opinion on Rue, but that scene of Rue scaring her sister's boyfriend, that's probably one of the funniest things I've seen in a long while, and I'm glad that I saw it, because I needed the laugh, and boy did I laugh. Okay, you guys, I think those are all the notes that I have for tonight's Euphoria season 1 episode 6. I am so sad that we only have 2 episodes left to go before this season 1 ends. But the good news is HBO has renewed Euphoria for second season. Yeah, season 2. Woo. Oh my god. Oh, we gotta wait a year though. But hey, that's good news, right? It's still awesome. Um, oh, some of you guys are chatting with me. Okay, let me read some of your chat here. Indie Girl 007 says someone needs to set Nate straight. Good point. Jennifer Baumgarten says Cat needs to slow down. Right? Oh, I love Kat, but man, I don't know. I think she's dealing with her issues, her own way. I mean, she has her business and whatnot, but you're right. Like she fucks that guy at the carnival, right? The guy with the biggest dick. And now tonight she fucks that asshole Daniel, the dressed as Ted Bundy that was being an asshole to Cassie. I was like, really, Kat? Are you gonna bang just any guy now? I was like, so that's why it goes to what I said earlier. Like you were being a dick to Ethan here. Just because he's a virgin doesn't mean that, he won't be able to do it. Guide him, guide the motherfucker. You're the experienced one, Kat. Um, Indie Girl says, I feel bad for Kat. It's appearing like empowerment, but it isn't. Okay, fair point. No, it isn't. Jennifer Baumgarten says she has no respect for men or herself. She could have something real with Ethan. There you go. There you go. I could not have said that better. Wow, good stuff, Jennifer. Blue Chemist says, don't worry, Nate's time is coming. It's only a matter of time. Indie Girl says she sees putting down men as a positive, but she's going off as an asshole in the process. She's hurting herself. Ethan seems genuinely into her, and she's completely dismissive towards him. Thank you. You guys are on point. I think I'm on your side. I agree with you guys. I like Kat, but what she did to Ethan tonight was not cool. That was uncalled for, Kat. You know, bad cat, bad cat. um, Indie Girl says, yeah, that scene with Kat in the bathroom was so awful. I felt bad for Ethan. Yes. Jennifer says, I hope Ethan didn't see her hooking up with Cassie's toy. Looked like she was going to smash him. By the way, tonight's episode, McKay almost caught Cassie with Daniel. Man, that also would have turned out pretty bad. But Bob Ross came to the rescue. Um, what else here, you guys says? You called the pregnancy last video, I think. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, I remember that. Yes. Blue Chemist says Rue gave a shout out to the street characters from The Wire. Oh, you're right. Fuck yeah, that was The Wire, right? Oh, thank you, dude, Blue Chemist. I love The Wire. Oh, that's one of my favorite shows of all time. I remember driving through Baltimore, Maryland. I kid you not. A couple years ago, I went to Baltimore, and the only thing I can remember is, the only thing I could like visualize, even though it doesn't look like The Wire, it's like, oh my god, I'm entering The Wire. Oh, you're right. It's those are the names from The Wire characters, right? But wait, did Rue says Bubble? Did Drew say Bubble? Because Bubble is my favorite character from The Wire. The one that, well, I'm sorry, not Bubble. Omar. Omar's my favorite character. I think Ruse did say Omar, right? The one with the scar, played by Michael Kenneth Williams, that actor. Anyway, The Wire, one of the best dramas of all time. Thank you, the Blue Chemist. That was cool. That was great pointing that out. Um, Oh yeah. So as soon as I heard her mom to tell her not to get pregnant, I knew she was gonna get pregnant. She jinxed her own daughter. Damn. Damn, that sucks, right? Oh man. All right. So Indie Girl says, yeah, McKay's dry. But he's a shy and football player, so what do you expect? Yeah. Again, McKay's my least favorite character. There's not much there that like pulls me into him. I was like, yeah. But then again, Lexi is just as boring. Um, Indigo 007 says Daniel needs his balls extracted. God, I hate Daniel and Nate so much. That bedroom scene with Cassie hit a personal nerve. I think most women can say they've been in that situation. It was rapey. Yes. Daniel is a red flag. So, ladies, girls, stay away from the Daniels of the world. All right. Guys like him, you know, is dangerous. And the fact that he was wearing Ted Bundy costume, I was like, wow, that was fitting. maybe he's maybe maybe that's his aspiration. Maybe that's why he cosplays as Ted Bundy. Um, Indie Girl 007 says Jules looked beautiful in this, by the way, even though she was sloppy drunk. Right? Jules looks amazing. And again, for the thousandth time, She reminds me in tonight's episode. She reminds me of Claire Danes in Romeo and Juliet. Lexi has no personality. The blue chemist says exactly. Oh, thank you, Indie Girl 007. Yes, that movie was amazing. One of my all-time fave versions of Romeo and Juliet. Guys, check out 1996 Romeo and Juliet. And I can't wait. I can't wait till what is it? 35th? I want to say 25th, whatever it is, the next anniversary of Romeo and Juliet 1996 movie, because I will totally celebrate that. I will have a collabo, discuss it all day long with fellow YouTubers. I will dissect the movie because I freaking love that one. Um, Indie Girl says Lexi is just a straight man, and I think she has a secret that is going to come out. She's the normie. Okay, that's an interesting theory. I I hope that happens soon because there are only 2 episodes left in the Girl 1007. If you say that Lexi does have a secret going with her, then no, this tonight or maybe next week is as good a time as any. Indigo Level 7 said Lexi is in love with Rue. That's what she got. Okay, all right. So Lexi is in love with Rue. Oh, I never noticed that though. I didn't get that. Maybe my radar's a bit off, but maybe your radar's pretty. Your radar's functions better than mine. So maybe your theory is spot on. And then Lexi came with like B Wade. I think it was I was like, damn, they think fast. Right? It's like Lexi and Rue practice that scene. like they're big fans of The Wire and they remember the characters' names. Oh man. So Jeff Carrigan says, everyone hammer that like button, please. Thank you. Please hammer that like button. Season 2, yes, Jeff Carrigan. Season 2, yes. Natalie Delar says, what happened to McKay? That's a good question. What happened to McKay? I think that's the answer, Natalia. What happened to McKay? The answer to your question. McKay is just not. I just don't like that character. All right. In addition to not having much intriguing stuff about him, um, the way he treats Cassie, even though he doesn't treat Cassie as badly as Daniel did tonight, still McKay, the whole thing like, oh, I'm too embarrassed to call your girlfriend in front of my friends. And next day it's like, oh, I love you, baby, I love you. In tonight's episode too, like after I feel bad for McKay, the whole getting hazed thing, by the guys. That was just that's so rapey, dude. Um and then but he takes it out on Cassie. I was like, dude, oh. I just don't like McKay. I don't like the way McKay treats Cassie, and I love Cassie. I think she's a sweetheart. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, let's conclude this review by saying what another and fantastic episode. And I like the title because I'm a huge fan of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in with me, watching this live review of Euphoria season 1, episode 6. Stay tuned. Next Sunday, I'll be back again. And right here, subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/ramascreen1. Subscribe. Tell everybody and their grandmas to subscribe to this channel, okay? And support me at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Thanks for chatting with me. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's rock this.